G'day, Cephalon Collective. Welcome to mini episode number 27. My name's Cephalon Greg, and I'm joined by Cephalon Lucas. How you going over there, sir?
Fantastic.
Fantastic. So, um, you may not be able to hear this right now, but yes, this is Cephalon Squared. But if you're listening on podcast, of course you can't see us, but our stupid faces are now on YouTube, or at least my stupid face and Lucas's glorious face. We'll be going on to YouTube. We've just figured out how to do this. So, yeah. Hi, here we are. Yes, so, Lucas, how's the weather treating you?
Weather. Well, today in the city of Ipswich, the weather is currently 15 degrees Celsius with a 84% humidity.
Indeed. And 15 degrees Celsius is 59 degrees Fahrenheit. And as you can see, I've actually popped a little map of Australia up there so you can see where Ipswich is compared to Melbourne, which is where I am, of course. So for me, it is 12 degrees Celsius, 68% humidity, and 54 degrees Fahrenheit. That is. So, here we are. It's a mini episode, so we've got some mini news. Let me just bring up the notes. I need more screens. That's what I need. 52
Need more
more
screens.
screens. So, the mini news is that as of next Tuesday, which is July 2nd in the, Northern Hemisphere, or that part of the world, July 3 for us in Australia, Loki and Vault Prime will be re-entering the Vault.
No.
Bye. Have a good time. So you can say goodbye to those guys for now, and whether or not there'll be a new a new unvaulting happening, we don't know as yet, but hopefully we'll find out soon enough. Exciting times ahead. Yeah, cool.
Cool.
Better be.
So, yeah.
It is. All right, so this week, as you can probably see on the screen, because she's sitting there, standing there, doing stuff, this week we are talking about Mag. So I have gone and prepared this little picture of her, so I may as well put it up. Otherwise, it was a waste of my own time. There's Mag. Hi, Mag. She's standing there looking all glorious. But, of course, I've got Mag Prime standing there on the screen. The notes we will be referring to throughout this episode were prepared by young Rathok. So thank you to Rathok. And there's my pretty Tsar. Cool. So,
Yay, Rathok.
Indeed, yay, Rathok. It's a pretty good write-up. I think it was done quite a while ago now. So
it's one of the originals, if I remember correctly.
It was
the 101s.
So, Mag is, as her name suggests, the magnetized manipulator. So she moves stuff about using magnetism, and of course that also means that she can move bullets, or she can cause bullets to move. She's not really affecting the bullets themselves directly, blah, blah, blah. So she's been around for a while. She was the first female Prime to come to the game, which is pretty cool. And Mag is available from the Sergeant at Phobos. He is one of the easiest bosses in the entire game. Actually, scratch that.
He is the
easiest boss in the entire game. So, worth getting Mag for her magliness. So I'm just going to take her somewhere super, super easy so I don't have to concentrate too hard. Lucas, did you want to talk about her...
Passive,
that's the one.
Passive. All right. Well, Mag's passive is called Magnetic Attraction. And this is pretty good for just gathering up those loose little bits of change that drop all over the place. Because when Mag bullet jumps, this ability picks up all the little loose bits of change and drags them to her, similar to that of a Sentinel's vacuum.
Indeed it does. And it's a weird little thing. So let me show you in action. So I just use my Tsar, and then I jump, and stuff came to me. It's a bit weird. It is useful, but compared to some of the other frames passives, it's also a bit shit. So, I don't think much of it at all, to be honest myself, but it makes sense for who she is and what she is. But
I mean, it's okay. I mean, Clearly, we can have worse passives.
Can I?
But hey, yeah, I believe you could.
Thanks, Papa Lucas.
If you really tried, you could. You could definitely try.
I definitely could. I reckon I could. I can achieve all of my dreams. All right, so her first ability is pull. Pretty easy. So she uses her magnetic force to pull enemies close to her. That's pretty much it. She does cause 300 magnetic damage when she does that, and enemies ragdolled towards her. Here we go. Bam! Just like that, and they're all killed because this is an Earth mission. Dead guys. So
Good
it only does
ragdolling.
300 damage to them, but they are pulled and ragdolled and destroyed by my mag. And that's pretty much it. So it goes. I don't know what the range is for it, but it's pretty far. Let me see if I can get those guys. Nope. So it's out of that range. It's probably only about 10 meters, 15 meters. But of course, you can affect it by. Actually, it says right there on my screen, 25 meters.
Base range 25 meters.
Yeah. So it's pretty good. You can affect it by range and strength mods. And that's pull.
Very nice.
Oh, whoa. She does have...
Is it all of pull, though?
It's not... Is it? What?
No.
Did I miss something?
It's not all of pull. You did. The augment.
Oh, yeah. I was just about to go into it. Why'd you have to be confusing when you mentioned it? Anyway, Greedy Pull is the name of the augment, and it adds 100% chance to pull pickups towards Mag. So, really, it's just the same as her friggin'...
it's an upgraded passive.
It's just an upgraded passive, exactly. And we're not very impressed by the passive, so gee, thanks. Anyway, over to ability number V2.
Ability number 2, Magnetize. This is a massive manipulator of the battlefield. When cast, a magnetic field of up to 4 meters in radius pins enemy in place, making them a literal bullet magnet for up to 15 seconds. It is a particularly effective way to neutralize junction specters. Additionally, the field pulls in nearby enemies caught within its range, making it a masterful way to secure doorways. This also affects all projectiles, bullets, and shards from Mag's Polarize. More about that later, which are redirected to the main target at the field center. Doing so multiplies their damage against the main target by up to 200%. If the projectile has punched through, then it will turn back toward the center, turning the field into a blender in a matter of moments. That's fantastic. Let's just turn an enemy into a meat blender, a bullet blender.
Why not?
Awesome. Yeah. But there's more. When projectiles enter the magnetic field, up to 25% of their damage is absorbed and dealt out to all enemies within the AoE. If the main target meets its demise, the field then explodes outwards up to 15 meters, maiming enemies with up to 300 blast damage, plus 25% of the absorbed damage for each damage tick delivered by the field before detonation. And then the augment for Magnetize is Magnetized Discharge. And this allows manual detonation by recasting the ability on an active magnetized bubble, and enemies hit by the detonation have a chance to be disarmed.
Indeed they do.
It's pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm. I like it. So it kind of makes it a little bit like Frost's bubble too. By adding that on there. Anyway, her third ability is Polarize. And Polarize, when I get my notes, propagates out to the 8 meter range for 5 seconds. And what it does is it creates a field of energy. So as you can see there, it is going out on the screen there. Killed everything in one shot. And it removes enemy shields and armor, up to 400 armor at base, also causing 400 damage. True damage equal to the armor reduction. So it does actually a fair amount of damage, and it reduces a fair amount of armor and shield. So it's a pretty good armor stripping ability. Any enemies that were stripped will give off magnetic damage burst, so they will sort of explode, causing damage in the area around them up to 8 meters away, which is pretty bloody good, if you ask me. Now, this, of course, does synergize with some of the other abilities, so it causes... it also causes the enemies who are affected by Polarize to drop what they call shards. Now, these shards, don't know why they're shards. It's not like she's Gara, but they drop shards. They store 50 damage each, and they can be absorbed into the magnetized field. So if you destroy something with Polarize, they drop shards, and they're sucked into the magnetized field, essentially adding to that bullet blender that Lucas was talking about. What else was there? When hit by the Pulse Mag and her allies and companions, this one's pretty important. Hostages, specters, cryopods, excavators, hacked mowers, etc., 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 will all have shields restored. So polarized is really important if you're using frames that need to rely on shields. Having a mag in the team can restore those shields to them. And also, there is an augment for this particular ability, and that is, if I can bring it up, Counterpulse. Enemy weapons are jammed and robotics are disabled for 4 seconds when hit by Polarize. So, not a terrible augment, but really not one that I would replace any other mod with, personally, but that's just me. Anyway, Lucas, anything to add on Polarize?
It's pretty.
I guess. Yeah, why not? It is. It does spread out nicely and do cool stuff. Last ability, number 4.
Last ability, Crush. When Mag fully masters her manipulation, she can magnetize the very bones of those around her, suspending enemies up to 18 meters in the air. Mag unleashes up to 1500 magnetic damage over 3 damage ticks. Enemies foolish enough to wander into the range after Crush is cast will be impacted by any remaining damage ticks. Unleash Magnetize recently, well, Crush will deliver up to 1500 extra damage to the main target. Like Polarize, Crush also replenishes Tenno and Companion shields by 40 on cast and 25 per enemy per tick.
Sorry.
What?
I just got killed on stream.
Oh, wow, good job.
Thank you.
Crush also has an augment, Fracturing Crush.
Hell yeah.
And this just simply reduces enemy armor as well as temporarily immobilizing survivors.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Fractures and crushes.
It's pretty decent.
All right. So, what do you think of Mag? Let's be honest, Mr. Lucas. What do you think?
Well, to be honest, my mum once told me, if you got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Fair enough. So you're just a big meanie.
I mean, she has her place. Maybe early game. I know there are a few hardcore Mag fans out there. I am not one of them. My whole usage of Mag is maybe magnetize and pull, and that's it really. The occasional polarize to replenish shields. Crush, I pretty much never touch. Yeah, it's put the magnetized bubble on someone and pray and spray with whatever high fire rate gun I've got.
It's interesting you don't use Crush, because Crush is one of the ones that I do use. Just because it does a lot of damage and kills things. Lots of them. I mean, Polarize is really useful for restoring shields and stripping armor and stuff like that. So she's not a bad frame, but there's just other frames that do it better, is the main problem, I guess.
Yeah.
She does do some pretty good damage. She is really useful, and a good tip for new players is that you can use her for the junctions early in the game to basically just, once you start up in a junction, got my head cut off by this slicey slicer. Once you start up in a junction, you can cast Magnetize onto the Spectre, and just shoot it. And all of your bullets will be sucked into the bottle.
All your bullets will hit.
And they will be killed. Oh, and I got a little Nightwave thing there. I feel so special. Yeah, so that's Mag. I don't know. How do you build her, Lucas?
All right. Well, pull is definitely my favorite ability of hers because I just like dragging everyone by the ears.
Mm-hmm.
So when I build Mag, it's purely everything to basically increase stats on pull. And reduce the caster pull as much as possible, so I could just drag everyone around.
Pull is quite
and you know, pull does have a decent amount of damage behind it, so yeah,
It does actually, yeah, surprisingly. It's not a bad ability. It's probably the one I use the least. I would, if I was honest. I'm really her two, 3, and 4. I mean, the reality is, all of her abilities are useful. They're just not amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is Mag. Do you have really anything else you wanted to say about her before we?
Actually, I did have a little bit of theory about the polarizer with the shards. I feel like that's actually like stripping the iron out of the enemy's blood.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense actually.
Yeah.
You know what? It probably is exactly that.
Possibly.
It probably is exactly that, I think. Just my thoughts. That's who I am. I'm thinking that. I don't even know if I've seen that before, but it feels like I've seen that before. I don't know. Maybe. And it makes her metal, exactly, so I like that. All right, so that is Mag. She is the frame that people love to hate. I don't think she deserves all the hate that she gets. She is pretty good overall. She's just not the greatest frame in the entire game. She's pretty squishy as well, is the other thing about her. Yeah, I don't know. It's mainly because she has a shitty base armor. No matter which way you look at it, it's terrible. All right.
Yeah.
So, that was mini episode number 27 and our first YouTube episode. There were some hiccups from my side in trying to get 3 things done all at the same time, trying to juggle. I think we got there somewhat in the end. I'm kind of okay with the way everything went, so let us know. Send us your feedback, anything you think we could do to improve these videos in particular from a podcast perspective. I'm sure it's pretty much the same as it always is, so you're welcome. I'm pretty sure we do an alright job there. We hope. But yeah, head over to YouTube. Go to Cephalon Squared's YouTube channel and check out the video. Let us know what you think. It's not terribly long, I think. But yeah, before we let you go, we of course do need to say thank you to our patrons. And I've written Patreons there, but that's just because I'm an idiot. So, would you like to start, Lucas?
I shall. Let's start off by thanking Rathok.
And continue by thanking Jellybean7099.
And this one's going to be fun. Thank you, Einself1000.
Einself1000.
I hope I... 1000, that's right. Einself1000.
And Adop88. Thank you.
And thank you, Lord Freezon.
Thank you, Logan Neal.
And, of course, thank you to Obsolete Ninja 13.
Indeed. Thank you, as always. So thanks to all of our patrons. If you would like to be a patron as well, head over to www.patreon.com/Cephalon Squared, and you will see the tiers that are available there. So, of course, head on over to our website if you'd like to join our Discord, Facebook, whatever. It's all there. Good stuff is available therein. My name's Greg Newbegin. I am Mad Capsules all over the place, as you can see quite poorly on the video because it does not blend in very well with the background that's behind it right now. Who are you, Lucas?
I am Lucas Silvestri, and I am Silverlight all over the interwebs. SILVRLGHT. Massive shout out to our lovely community. Can't get enough of you guys. You guys just brighten my day every day. Wake up, check the chats. It's fantastic. So keep up the good work. And now you can get a visualization of me accepting you guys. So
exactly.
Yeah.
That's pretty special.
Thanks. Thank you, guys.
Indeed. All right, so let's close out mini episode number 27. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back in just a couple of days.
Or listening.
Yes, or listening. Yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll be back in a couple of days with episode 50. Now, keep in mind that episode 50 will be live streamed. So head on over to twitch.tv/Cephalon Squared. Give us a follow so that you can see that happening at 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, Sunday night. Be there for episode 50. Anyway, we'll catch you then. Bye.
Bye.